If your employer gives you the full use of a company car, then you have to pay fringe benefit tax on the value of the use of this vehicle. To qualify for a claim against this, you must have a proper logbook detailing private and business mileage. SARS has a simple formula to calculate your claim, and SARS's formula works well, provided that amounts such as the car cost and the code 3802 fringe benefit amounts are 100% correct. If these amounts are not correct, then calculating a claim is much more difficult, but you must know exactly how to do this properly, because if this calculation turns into a dispute with SARS, then you must know exactly what you are doing. SARS's formula for a claim against the code 3802 fringe benefit is simply the business distance fraction of total mileage times the fringe benefit amount levied. It makes sense that a fringe benefit amount should not be levied on business distance. This means that if 30% of your total mileage was done on business, then your claim against the fringe benefit amount would be 30%. Although SARS asks for the car cost and the start and end dates on the ITR 12 assessment, SARS's claim calculation ignores all this. If the car value is incorrect and subsequently the fringe benefit amount is incorrect, then all this is ignored in SARS's formula. If an employee has the full use of a 1 million rand car for a year, and the employer only levies a fringe benefit amount of 1,000 rand a month instead of 28,000 rand a month, then not only does SARS's formula ignore this gross underpayment of fringe benefit tax at salary source, but SARS's formula actually gives the taxpayer a further claim. This company car setup is very open to errors. Your employer will use a formula based on the value of the car, including VAT, to determine an amount which will be added to your income when tax is calculated on your salary. The formula the employer must use is 3.5% of the value of the car per month, or 3.25% of the car value per month if the car has a maintenance plan. SARS asks your employer to only tax you on 80% of the amount determined by this formula at salary source, and this is because SARS says that in most cases around 80% of the mileage done in a company car is private mileage, and the other 20% is business distance. Note that although 80% of the fringe benefit amount is added to income for tax at salary source, 100% of the fringe benefit amount will appear as code 3802 on the IRP5, and this 100% amount will be added to income on the assessment. Note that SARS may allow an employer to add only 20% of the calculated amount as a fringe benefit amount at salary source, but only if the employer is convinced that virtually all the mileage will be done on business. Of course, the portion of the distance actually done privately or on business could vary tremendously and will affect your claim. The mileage figures in your logbook will be used to calculate a claim against taxable income on your assessment. SARS's formula to work out the claim against taxable income says the claim is equal to the code 3802 fringe benefit amount for the car multiplied by business distance divided by total distance. The video for company car examples will show more on how this works in practice.